Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Meet the Presenters. Today, I am delighted to be joined by Turan Mirza, who is a hypnotist, and a clinical hypnotherapist, and he's been doing it for 15 years. Many of you will know Turan, but for today's purpose, for people who don't, Turan, nice to meet you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you wouldn't mind.
Indeed, indeed. Well, yeah, well, gets me worried when you say everybody should know me.
I didn't say
So
everybody should know you.
everybody will know, but some of the rumors may not be true. I'll say no more.
Some.
But yes, so I've been doing this wonderful uh, art. I think we call it an art. Hypnosis since about 2010, so about 15 years now. Became full-time hypnotherapist in 2016, and in between that, it was just a hobby. It was just an interest that evolved into people asking me to help them with hypnosis. So before that, I was a software engineer, tiny
Okay.
little nerd sitting behind a keyboard all day, not interacting with everybody. And now
Mm.
very much interaction with the world and with other businesses as well, which will lead on to the next question, hopefully.
Mm.
What else? What else do you want to know? I started this just as I say, as a hobby. I used to do um pick up a coin from. I used to do the little, oh, where'd that coin come from? Silly little dad magic that you might be doing with your own daughter at this
Yes.
young age
Oh,
of
yes.
6, 7, and 8. You
Yeah.
know, nothing I would overly perform in front of an adult because they go, that's just silly.
Yeah.
But and I saw something on TV and I thought, oh, I'm going to do that little thing for the kids. And it turned out to be hypnosis when I tried to research it. And we're talking 2010 here when the internet didn't
Yeah.
have as much information out there. It took me a while just to figure out how was that done. And then I realized, went on some trainings, and then thought to go out in the streets of Belfast and hypnotize people.
So I'm gonna pick you on that one. So what was the little thing that you saw that you were like
You
going,
know what? I couldn't even tell you the exact one. It was Darren Brown.
okay,
It was something in one of those early, and again, 2010. So it was one of his early, I can't even remember the names of his shows, but how important it was to me.
no, I know,
But
but
because he does magic and he does
yeah.
mentalism and he does hypnosis and he interweaves them beautifully so that you can't tell what's
And
what.
interestingly, there's a thing that you've said that it's probably something similar because that's what I started doing as well. Was there's a little thing that Darren did, which was about a coin trick, and he was just getting the coin placed in the person's hand by telling him what hand to put it in, but
Yeah,
without actually the person ever picking it up. And it was just something that I then ran with, and I went, oh, "There's something in this." So it's amazing how we all sort of pick up little things, and then we go, "We want to do that," and we go and do it. So,
that's it.
um,
That's it. And it was only ever supposed to be. I mean, again, I'm sure many people watching this, when they see it on the TV for the first time, they go, ah, they're just playing along.
yeah,
I was one of those skeptics,
yeah,
for someone that's now been doing this for 15 years and made it my full-time career.
yeah,
I was a skeptic about this here, but there's something beautiful about face-to-face doing it rather than just watching it.
yeah,
I even now don't overly enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy doing it,
yeah,
with someone else and giving them that experience as
yeah.
well.
It
Makes
becomes it becomes a personal thing, doesn't it? It becomes something that's an
That's it.
interaction as opposed to just watching. It's the interaction between two people that's really quite powerful, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. That's what I love.
Well, no, and that's why we all love it. But the other thing I want to ask you is, first of all, you're obviously presenting. Well, I was at the you were at the conference last year, and I was in your presentation, and it was fabulous, right? I really enjoyed it. I think it was in the second row. You know, the one with the pink T-shirt. You remember you pointed out? Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. So 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 my question now is, why should people come and see you this time? And what is your presentation all about? If you'd like to elaborate on that, that would be great.
Indeed. So the wonderful thing about doing this hypnosis stuff, just as a hobby, just for fun, going out in the streets of Belfast or Las Vegas or whatever, hypnotizing people, um, is there's no pressure to find someone. Obviously you've gone out for the day to hypnotize someone, you find someone, but when you start a business, dare I say it, and it's the same back in the software days, 20% of your time in software days was writing software. The other was writing specifications and compiling documents and having meetings and all the rest of it. And hypnosis is the same. I say sadly, but it's the fact of life. If you want to turn this into a business, then the majority of your time is on sales and marketing, doing accounts, doing your tax returns, doing all the other administration stuff. But it's still very important to do that. You don't do your taxes. You get fined. You don't.
Yeah.
You do your marketing. No clients come in.
Yeah.
So my talk's on how to network with other businesses.
Okay, good.
Um, as we said just before we started this interview, we were having a wee bit of a chat. I met a guy called David Mead. If you're outside of Northern Ireland or Ireland, whatever, might not be as well known, but he's a mentalist who had a TV show on the BBC for some time, and he does a lot of corporate work. And I had the good fortune of meeting him and having a chat with him. And one of his advices, and I was just starting out in business, was go networking, and I'd never heard of what this thing was. But I followed his advice, went networking, and quickly built up a reputation locally through local businesses who would refer me, even some businessmen themselves who maybe had, confidence issues or mental blocks about moving forward in their business. I built up a really rich referral network. As I was saying to you earlier,
Yep.
2018 was the last time I sort of put paid adverts out
Yeah.
because it's either word of mouth or just good SEO, but word of mouth is a major part of my business, and it's come from the networking.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about networking, why networking is important. I'm going to show some demos because part of networking is getting a little 10-minute slot during a
Yeah.
networking meeting, and really go into the detail and knowing some good hypnosis demos and things that really catch people's attention is one of the things I want to do as well. Hopefully get a bit of interaction there if we have time. These slots are so short, it's hard to cram as much in. I want to give you as much information and understanding the best way to network. So by the time you come out of my talk, hopefully, um, you will know how to network. You will know how to get referrals from your networking, know how to build your brand, and know how to what to do and some good ideas. Or just I'm not don't want to tell you this is the only way to do it, but give you an idea of what I've done so that you can expand based on your knowledge and experiences the best demos to do.
Yeah. And usually when I'm talking to people doing these interviews, I always ask, well, what's the key message that you would hope people take away? You've already given me it,
I know.
you know,
I know.
and it's brilliant the fact that already what you've just done is demonstrate exactly what is the perfect way to attract people is to give them as much information in one go without bombarding people. It was brilliant, you know.
That's
And
it.
one of the things he said to me as well, which was interesting, which I would like to add as a takeaway, we had a conversation before we started this. The thing you said to me, because we've been to the exact same networking things.
Indeed.
And one of the things you said was, don't talk about you. You know,
Yeah.
people have talking about themselves. They give you information, and it's not for the purpose necessarily of gleaning as much information as you can to go bang. It's all of a sudden people are warm to you. They remember you because you listened.
That's it. And in that respect, again, try not to go into the meat of the
No, I know. No,
presentation,
yeah,
but networking is a long game. I say that despite the fact that I told you earlier, I got a client from my very first networking meeting,
you
but
did.
it's about relationship building.
Yeah.
It's about going in there with no business agenda other than just building up relationships.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's an art in itself to that.
Mhm.
And I think it's important. Again, I do coaching. I look at the therapists, and it's a key one of my aspects. And in fact, even with Sheila Granger, who I work with, she, says if I lost my website, if I lost my social media tomorrow, where would I start afresh? And I would echo her. It would be go out networking
Mhm.
because it's getting down on the street and educate people what to do and
Yeah.
how to respect.
Yeah. No, brilliant. That's very succinctly put, and I'm very grateful for it. So, next thing I'd like to ask you is very simply, what would you say to someone who was potentially thinking about attending the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference? What is the benefit to them for coming, and why would you suggest they attend?
I think just it's a must. You have to. You have to.
Yes.
If you're watching this video, you're already 99% there.
Yeah.
Come to the Hypnosis Convention. Now, I'm going to obviously this video is about the Irish Hypnosis Convention. I want to make sure that that's the focus. But again, I went to Hypnothoughts Live in Las Vegas, which was my first convention, and really understanding what these conventions are about turned my life around and again really give me a strong focus. So whether it's the first time or you were there last year or at another convention, you come to this one as well. Conventions are lovely because it's like a, oh, what's the word? Smorgasbord. You get an hour or so of lots of different trainers. And I'm going to, even if it's mine, I don't mind this. You might come to my talk and say, well, this is not for me. I don't get it. Hopefully you will. But, it's about sampling lots of different people
Mhm.
and understanding different viewpoints. I mean, hypnosis is just not one thing.
No.
Which again, if you're watching anybody watching this video, I think it's probably on that road and knows it's not one thing, but it's understanding. There's so many nuances and so many viewpoints,
Yeah.
and obviously the lineup of great speakers. I'll just talk about this. Um, you know, and again, I've seen a lot of these speakers at other conventions and following them on Facebook and stuff. Great ideas, great thoughts, and it's sometimes that almost throwaway remark in the middle of a sentence that will drop on you and you go, that wasn't even about the topic. I might be talking about networking as I am, but I might be talking about do this in the demo, and somebody might go, I actually use that in the therapy room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which again, a lot of stuff I would do there would be using the therapy room.
Yeah.
So giving people other ideas and opportunities where you just wouldn't get in any other environment. Now that's conventions in general. The
Yeah.
Irish one, I mean, obviously the Irish.
Yep.
You and I both on the island, so say no
Yep.
more. It's friendly, it's open. I was very sadly missed out in the first year just by accident. I was doing training in England, of all things. The second year, I actually talked to John. And I says, John, I want to speak. And we
Yes.
had a Zoom call, and he says, yes, we're not doing it in the first week in April. We're doing it in the third week in April or whatever. And I went,
Wasn't
it's
your
my
son?
son's wedding,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
missed out in the second one. So I'm now earmarked. Nobody's allowed to have a baby, have a wedding. The family all knows now. I'm going to the Irish Hypnotist for the rest of
Yeah.
my life.
April's out.
That's
Just,
it.
that's it. No. No,
So
that's a good
I mean,
one.
conventions are powerful places to learn,
Yeah.
and it's not just the seminars; it's the chat over coffee,
Yeah.
it's the dinners, it's just the crack, it's just as we would say in
Yeah.
Ireland. It's just the atmosphere is great,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed it. I've been to many conventions and Ireland already. I've just been there the first time last year. Really stands out. It's a good atmosphere. It's a good
It's,
friendly atmosphere. You
it
know,
is. And I definitely would agree with that and mirror that. Well, Turan, I must say thank you very much for your time. And I say this to everyone, and I'm going to have to find a new way of saying it, but everyone I've spoken to, I just want to go to their presentation. You know, I have experienced your presentation last year. I will be there again this year if time and things allow. I will probably be running around like a headless chicken. I do fully expect that. But yeah, I would encourage everyone to go and see you because whenever I was with you last year, it was a brilliant experience. So I once again thank you for your time, and I'll say cheerio to everyone, and thank you for watching.
it's a
See you soon.
pleasure and look forward to everybody seeing you.
Good man. Thanks, Turan.